The dream team is back. Guys, let me know if you can hear me, see me, all the good things. Our friends, Grace Report and Lailah Lynn, are officially back. Come on now. And look, I've been thinking about this since our friend, well, let me just show you. I've been thinking about you ladies coming back ever since this happened. Wendy Acefo and Annie Acefo getting locked up. I said, we need to have an emergency meeting, but I was abroad. So the time difference and everything like that. But I knew that was in the back of my mind. I had to send out the bat signal, literally. I literally had to send out the bat signal. The dream team needs to come together. Guys, if you don't know who the ladies are in front of me, where have you been? Are you new to the channel? Maybe you are. Grace Report is here and Lailah Lynn. Ladies, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back.
We appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. First of all, before we even get into Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm going to ask you ladies what you've been up to. I'll start with Grace Report. What have you guys been up to?
Just living life, KP. I'm continuing to take my salsa, my bachata classes. I'm still running my morning report every single weekday morning on my channel at 10. And just, seeing what life has to offer.
I know that's right. Lailah, what have you been up to?
I have been enjoying my family. It's a lot, raising 2 kids, it's a lot. So that has been taking up the bulk of my time, but I've also been working on my my main channel, my other channel, Crime and Context with Lailah Lynn.
Okay. And more links on our guests will be available, guys, in the description. So be sure to check that out. If you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. They will start to show up in your algorithm. So that's why it's important. And also feel free to share today's live as well. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We see our subscribers. We see our channel members. Become a member today. All that information is available in the description. We are here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode. But before we even get into that, as I said to you before, I feel like we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, and that is this arrest from a few weeks ago. Lailah, since you were talking about crime.
Right.
I mean, like, what was your initial reaction when you saw these mugshots?
I was, first of all, okay, initially, just to be honest with you, because I'm a hair and makeup person, and initially I looked at Wendy and I was like, that's the wig you wear around the house? Like, this is not the Wendy we see on our TV screens. So my first reaction was like, Wendy. Yeah. But then when I took it all in, I was like, oh my God, Wendy, Eddie. Like, I was surprised. I know a lot of people said they weren't surprised, but I was shocked. Miss 4 degrees, steal it in a way that was not smart. You know what I mean? Like, how there's levels to the way people steal, and the way they did it, like, it was not smart. So I was disappointed, not only in the crime, but in the fact that the way that they did it was not smart at all.
Yeah. Grace, what was your initial reaction when you saw those mugshots?
I was shook, honestly. I got this news like live as I was doing my morning show. And I thought the person was mistaken. I was like, there's no way Wendy of all people is arrested. It didn't compute for me. So when I went on and I saw the story and I saw the mugshots, but at that moment, there wasn't enough detail. So they were under suspicion of some kind of insurance fraud, blah, blah. Maybe I thought it would have been a very sophisticated thing, because these are two extremely educated people, 7 degrees between the two of them. Eddie's a lawyer. But then when the information comes out about just how bad this haul was and how obvious and just terrible it is, I was shocked. I thought they were smarter than this.
I hate the fact that you both have already convicted these two. Yeah. Okay. I am so upset that you guys have already convicted these two. She is at she was at BravoCon this weekend, and she spoke about it, and I have the video footage to share with you guys, just to let you know what Wendy had to say in regards to the allegations against her. Please hold.
That has come up in headlines recently. First of all, I want to check in with you and just ask, how are you doing? Your wonderful family. How are you guys hanging in there right now? Hi, Thurby. Hi, love. Hi, audience. Well, first, I just want to say everyone who has reached out to my family during this time. I read your messages. I can't respond to everyone, but your love and support means the world to me. You know, it's an unfortunate situation, and right now I can't say too much, but I will say when the time is right, I will share my story with everyone. And for now, they're just allegations, so we will continue to push forward.
Okay.
I know that's right.
I mean, and even right now, we can see the support is real. Your fans love you. Your supporters love you.
It's BravoCon. So BravoCon gave a standing ovation to Karen Huger, which we will get to in a second. Layla, what was your reaction to that clip?
I mean, it makes sense for her to try to, first of all, Wendy's PR is like, they're always out there. I've received my own messages. I see other content creators saying they've received their own messages. Like her PR is always like on point. So for her to say, you know, and point out she hasn't been convicted, they're just allegations. It's like, okay, it makes sense for her to have that standpoint. Yeah. But what makes me, like you said, I've convicted them already. It's only because they say they found the merchandise, like the things that they were claiming on the claims, like was located in the home. So that's why I have the opinion that I have.
15 of the alleged stolen items were found in the home. Grace, what was your reaction to the clip from BravoCon this weekend?
It just reminded me of Karen, you know, or anybody else in the Bravo universe who's had legal problems. They're always denying it. It's always, wait, you will see, I'll have my day in court. I'm innocent until, you know, the guilty verdict comes in. So I really still
come on. I'm sorry. This is why I love where you both come in, because I never know what you're both going to say, which I love. I love that we all have very differing opinions. I mean, look, I wasn't shocked at her BravoCon response because, again, you're not even literally. There hasn't even been a trial set. The hearing had been pushed back to December 2nd for Wendy. Were you guys shocked though when we heard Wendy's response in regards to legally her legal response? When it comes to wanting a separate trial from Eddie, that people started speculating that there's trouble in paradise. She's going to throw him under the bus. Layla, did you have any sort of reaction to that?
Well, yes and no, because it all made legal sense. You know what I mean? That this was an illegal search and seizure, or whatever she said. It all made legal sense. Like, let's just get rid of this. That made sense to me. Yeah. But also, I don't think that she's going to necessarily throw him under the bus, but I do think it's a possibility that he might present himself like it was all my idea. You know, you see the emails when he's asking her what else to claim. I think it's a potential that he might try to take the entire fall.
Yeah. Grace?
Yeah. You know, there's definitely something at play there as far as Layla is saying maybe he might try to take the fall or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just nervous, Kempire. All I want is for them to take a good plea deal when it comes. That's all I'll say.
Well, we've been talking about this here on the channel. We've had a few attorneys call in and share their thoughts. Taking a plea deal might not be in their best interest long term.
Why is that?
Because insurance fraud will follow you.
I mean, jail. If you go to jail, that experience is going to follow you.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's no easy out here, but. Yeah. Again, as Wendy said at BravoCon, and as she said in her statement, that these are just allegations, and we will have to wait and see. But the evidence against them is pretty damning, including the DA saying that she wore one of these stolen items on social media.
Yeah, because it's her wedding ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you say it'll follow them, do you mean like as far as Eddie being an attorney, like maybe he won't be?
I mean, a few attorneys called in and said not even just his bar license when it comes to getting insurance in the future, insurance for their home. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, this could potentially be bad. But we don't know what exactly their defense will be. We saw that they have two separate attorneys. Apparently, the money must be long because Eddie hired one of the attorneys from back when Bill Clinton was fighting with Monica Lewinsky. So he's hired a high-powered attorney. So they're going to fight these allegations. So we're going to have to wait and see how this all turns out. Has this sort of, when you're watching Real Housewives of Potomac, ladies, does it make you view Wendy a little bit differently, or are you sort of like putting that to the side? Grace?
Oh, that's such a good question. I will admit that in last night's episode, when they were tallying up the cost of the renovation and stuff, I was like, oh, wonder where that money came from.
Wait,
Exactly.
before we even get into that, a lot of people from the area or from the DMV said that it didn't make a logical sense to be investing that much money into that home in that particular area. So that for them was also a red flag. Layla, I see you shaking your head because I know you down there in the DMV. What's your perspective?
Well, I thought the same thing as Grace. Like when they did that with Sally, I was like, oh, this is why she's doing, the insurance fraud. But I also have big feelings about living above your means. I think a lot of stuff is unnecessary. Like, and even if you feel it's necessary, like you can fake it till you make it. Like everything is a facade. Like you don't really have to spend, millions on your wardrobe. You know what I mean? Everything is a facade. So whenever I look at Wendy, I do think like, when I see her like in the confessional, like the earrings, like she'll have a Chanel earrings, and I'm like, are those really your earrings? Or, are you going to take those back? Or are they on the claim? Like I do analyze everything.
I'm sorry, Grace. I interrupted you. I'm going to let you finish your thought in regards to how you're viewing Wendy this season, along with the allegations.
No, I'm just, like Layla, looking at everything. What's real? What's fake? What was claimed in the insurance documents that she's currently wearing? Just everything. Even when it comes to the reno, like you're talking about, Kempire, why are they putting so much money into renovating an already beautiful house? When she said they were redoing the kitchen, and I was looking at a stunning state-of-the-art kitchen, it just didn't make sense to me.
So we're gonna continue to talk about Wendy, but I had to pick your brains in regards to their recent arrest. Again, we don't really have much of anything in regards to how they're going to move forward because again, it's very, very early on. But we do have to talk about our most recent jailbird who has been released. Okay, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Okay, she has come back to social media this week. She arrived at BravoCon. They gave her a standing ovation when she came out at the Bravos. Layla, what did you think about, first of all, because you guys haven't been here, right? Since she was convicted, she was in jail. Now she didn't serve her full time. Now she's out. She went to BravoCon. Layla, like, give us all your thoughts on Karen Huger and her return.
You know what? Listen, I love Karen. I have to be honest. I love Karen. And even though she didn't necessarily serve all her time, she served all the time they made her serve. You know what I mean? It's not like she broke out of jail. Like she served the time that they made her serve. So I feel like she's paid her debt to society. And one reason I do give her grace is because in the previews where you see Andy sitting down and talking with her, she says that she is here to talk about her addiction. And they say, for people who deal with addiction, they have to get to that point where they can admit that they have an addiction. And we see for years, Karen was not to that point. So it seems like maybe the rehab that she did in jail might have worked to where now she knows that she has an addiction. So I give her grace. I thought she looked beautiful. I was expecting her to like lose a lot of weight in jail, like not want to eat the food and be like skin and bones when she came out. But she's not. She looks good. She looks good to me.
Yeah. Grace, thoughts on all the Karen Huger of it all?
Honestly, you guys know I love Karen. However, the 4 DUI thing is just something that really does disgust me. And the fact that people there gave her a standing ovation, somebody who could have killed, injured several people over the years with her DUIs, like that is just, it's really shocking to me. It really, really is. It's shocking. It's disappointing. But like Layla said, she looked beautiful. Unfortunately, I still do love her. But at this moment, she's kind of on ice for me. I have to be honest with you guys. I have to wait and see because, sometimes they splice things up to look a certain way. So maybe she'll say something for Andy or for the audience, but then she'll act a different way for the ladies, right? Like even throughout the trial, she was acting like all of this was some kind of crazy conspiracy. It's not true. Justice will be served. And then later the videos came out, everything came out, and we saw a completely different side to her. So I don't know yet.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. For those that have never been to BravoCon, I wasn't completely shocked that, the Bravo universe really is like its own universe. So I'm not
Yeah.
completely shocked that they gave her a standing ovation. Would I have given her a standing ovation? No. We've been very hard on Karen when it comes to her 4 DUIs, as we should. However, very much like you ladies, I've met Karen and I love her. She's good energy. I didn't have a bad experience when meeting her. She's very down to earth, very lovely, very gracious. So look, she has an addiction, and I'm glad that she's reached the point in the mid-season trailer. For those that didn't see it, she does have a one-on-one. I'm not sure if it's going to be an entire episode or it's just going to be part of an episode. I think it should be in its own episode, to be honest with you, because there's a lot to unpack, especially from the body cam footage to the conviction to her basically saying that she would be vindicated. No, and that did not happen. So at the end of the day, I'm glad no one was hurt. I'm glad she wasn't hurt. I really do hope that because BravoCon, the other element about BravoCon, there's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of drinking and partying that happens at BravoCon. So I hope that wasn't a trigger for her. So go ahead.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. I hope she has the right people around her. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that can make a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. All right, ladies, let's get into this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Guys, if you're just joining us, I'm here with the Dream Team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn are here. More information on both of them, including their YouTube channels and everything that they're working on, will be available in the description. So be sure to support. That's very, really, really important. Happy holidays. As you guys can see, I'm already in the holiday swing here over at the Kempire studio. But I hope that you guys are feeling good and feeling great on this Monday. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode. Ladies, you know what we always do here. How would you rate this week's episode of Potomac? I also have to pick your brains on the newbies. Grace, how would you rate this week's episode?
I loved it. I would give it like an 8.5.
Lailah?
I would say about the same. And the reason I would give it an 8 is for the tallying of the money Wendy was spending. Like, that raised the bar for me. And then I also like seeing Monique back. But, they do that thing, they always bring in like the drama at the very end and then cut it off for the next week. But I like seeing Monique.
Yeah. I mean, look, Grace, I'll start with you in regards to Monique and her appearance this episode. Like, how did you feel? It's been 5 long years since Monique was there. She left literally with a bang. How did you feel about her return?
I am really happy to see her back. I've always loved Monique. I think she's got a great energy. She's very fun. She's a tough cookie as well. And it's going to be interesting to see her new life as a divorced woman. I think her new home is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm really excited to find out more about her marriage and what was really going on there. I heard that in the other show she filmed with Chris, Love and Marriage, we got more details there, but I'm excited to see it. The information on Housewives of Potomac and whatnot, and to see her relationship with Ashley and what that's really like, just everything.
Lailah, like, how based off of this episode, what were your takeaways from Monique's return?
Well, she really didn't say much. You know what I mean? Like, she said hi to the ladies. Kay was trying to get stuff started, and I was more like, what's going on with Kay in that moment? But I was just happy to see her there. And I know there was first of all, I just want to address what you said, Grace, because I did watch the other show she was on. I can't remember the name right now. But
y'all are so bad with Carlos's show, Love and Marriage DC.
Yeah. Dang, Kempire. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I've never understood, like, Monique, sometimes she'll explain things about her marriage and it seemed I just never like got what she was saying. Like, she was trying to give details, but it was still like cloudy. Like, she never really made it clear to me what was the problem.
And maybe, and again, that's editing. Maybe we'll get to know a little bit more. What about what Giselle had to say when it comes to she didn't feel like Monique was 100% authentic when she was married? I was like, really? I didn't necessarily get that vibe.
Giselle is just a classic hater, hates to see somebody living better than her, doing better than her. She was always triggered, always jealous of the money and the lifestyle that Monique had when she was married to Chris. So now Monique, in a different situation with 1 home instead of 4, is more humble, is more authentic. to a hater like Giselle. Oh, I rolled my eyes so hard when she said that.
Yeah. I feel like Giselle, she can interact better with someone who has been divorced. Like her and Ashley weren't really clicking until Ashley got divorced. It's like she doesn't respect someone until she sees them leave their husband. That's the type of person she seems.
What does
to
that
be.
say about her, though?
She's
It could say two
miserable.
things. Yeah, it could say she's miserable, or it could say that if she sees a toxic relationship and someone stay in it, that she doesn't respect that person.
Okay.
But I don't know. You know, we see what we see on TV, but you never know what's really going on, like between Monique and Chris. Like we don't know if it was toxic. We don't know what was really going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In regards to how Giselle reunited, well, not reunited, but made amends with Wendy last season versus her. We haven't seen the conversation just yet, but we do see a conversation. Actually, I have the clip. I want to play a clip for you ladies, just in case you didn't see it from BravoCon. And I have to say, it warmed my cold heart in regards to how Giselle talks about Monique at BravoCon.
And I was kind of like, in the beginning, like year 1, year 2, but keep in mind, Monique has been gone for 5 years. That is a long time. So like year 1, year 2, I was like, yeah, nah. But this year in particular, because we all know Monique has had some changes in her life, and I can identify with them. I really wanted to sit down, and I kind of want to like hash out whatever the past is.
Yeah.
And I can say, me and Monique, we did the work. We did the conversations. We had those moments that allowed us to say, you know what, the past is the past, and we're gonna leave it right there, and let's move forward.
I'll throw my Monique, what would you add to that? How would you describe the current state of your relationship with Giselle, the journey we will see play out for the rest of the season?
In general, like Giselle just said, it's been 5 years. A lot can change in 5 years, and all of us have grown, we've evolved. And coming back into the circle, I did not want to be judged by the past, nor was I going to judge other people by the past. So I just wanted a fresh start, but those fresh starts definitely come with conversations.
Okay.
Difficult conversations, shady conversations. We just got down to the nitty-gritty of it. And we promise, no matter what, we will always still throw shade.
Yeah, and I want to say one other thing to that. The beauty of Potomac is that we have like rich history amongst the cast, and I told Monique I have more history with her than some of the most of the other ladies, and it's great to look over and see that she is with this group. Like she's a part of the history of Potomac. She's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So
I love this love. I do.
I was like, oh my gosh, that felt really genuine. Grace, what's your reaction to that clip from BravoCon?
You know, it really just goes to me. It continues to prove that she really likes when women are divorced, and you know, when they are back on an even playing field with her financially and whatnot. Now she can speak so highly of Monique all of a sudden and all this stuff. Give me a break. And I do also think that it has to do with the fact that she realizes that the audience finds her to be too mean, and that maybe she had a speaking to by the producers that season where she was trying to ice Wendy and everybody out and stuff. I don't believe any of it. I think she's using Monique as a pawn, maybe in the Stacey beef or something else, but she's just, she'll forever be a hater to me.
Oh, Layla? Did you get any soft feelings from that clip?
I think at this point, after this many years, like what is it, season 10? Like I can't get soft feelings for, you know, I take that back. I had soft feelings for Giselle regarding her father. I take that back.
Okay.
But I was about to say I can't get soft feelings for Giselle because she has been such a mean girl on this show. And I think we do agree that she does like to see women divorced, which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you could do a deep dive on Giselle and like the just her way of thinking. You know what I mean? So I don't know. She's not someone I would trust. Like if I was Monique and I heard Giselle say what she said, I would not take it in as, oh, she's a changed woman. I would not take it in that way. I would say, is this PR? You know, like Grace said, did they have a talk with her? Which obviously they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take it to heart.
I'm interested to see the sit down that's going to happen between Monique and Giselle. We will have to wait and see, and only time will tell. I feel the same way about the Wendy of it all. Their conversation didn't feel heartfelt or genuine. It felt like, oh, you did everything to me in regards to Giselle versus like, well, you did a lot of stuff to Wendy as well and icing her out and whatnot. Didn't show any accountability to that conversation. But only time will tell if the real Giselle will show up later on.
Yeah.
How are
Exactly.
you both feeling though about Giselle and Ashley as being the OGs this season? How are you feeling about the season itself? Layla?
Kempire. How do we start with you?
We start with
How are
me.
you feeling? Yes.
Ladies first. Your guest here on the channel today.
You're right. You know what? I forget that. You won't even go for okay. I am enjoying the season. I'm enjoying the season. I really am. I just love the way it's shot. I just love the women are so beautiful. Like I love the way it looks. The only problem or the main problem I would have with this is because so many women want to be on like the Housewives franchises, right? So many women are like clawing and dying to be on the show. And then you have women like Angel who act like they got stuck on the show. And what am I doing here? Y'all are not treating me right. That's the only thing that's like not sitting right with me. You know what I mean? Like, did you not ask to be here?
And I'm going to ask you, ladies, at some after this, how you're feeling about the newbies as well. But Grace, how are you feeling about the season overall so far?
I am. I will say there have been some episodes where I've been frustrated because it feels like Giselle and Ashley in particular have been trying to force an issue with Stacey constantly. There was a moment where it got to be very ugly in the typical, hazing fashion about her breath or this or that. Like that type of stuff I haven't been loving. But, Stacey having fun with like her weed business, calling it the Nigerian Yoruba word for happy, like that type of stuff has been really, really funny to me. So I'm kind of like 70-30 as far as the season goes. But this last episode was so good. So it's giving me hope for the rest of the season and the trailer too.
I have hope for the season. Stacey for me is a breath of fresh air. Oh, sorry. I didn't even mean it like that, but it works. It works. She really is a breath of fresh air. I called her to Palo Santo last year. I feel like she still is. I think Giselle and Ashley decided that, and this is what I've heard according to exclusive sources, that they felt the absence of Karen this year, and they felt like the newbies were not bringing it. So this is why you're going to see them throughout the season feel like Ashley and Giselle are working overtime to produce moments, very much like what we've seen so far. But everyone focusing on Stacey, it's not landing. Ashley needs to let it go. We see it even in this week's episode. Ashley's not letting it go. Like even if she names her weed business after a Nigerian, how does that affect you? Let that be Wendy's issue.
Yeah.
I love that though. That tickled me. That tickled me.
Right? This is what we've seen. We laughed about it when it was Karen and Wendy. Why can't we laugh about it when it's Stacey and Wendy?
Exactly.
Wait, well, first of all, Wendy's laughing about it, and Wendy looked right at the camera in this episode.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
She said, "Do y'all see this?"
Like, are we really doing this again? Why are they always taking my ideas? But here's the thing. The newbies, though. Let's talk about the newbies. I want to start with one of not the newest newbies. Let's start with Kiarna and how you're feeling about Kiarna this season. I will start with Layla. Layla?
I think Kiarna itself, first of all, I think she's beautiful, but self-centered. So I can understand why she has problems in her relationship. Yeah, because he's a dad. And so remember when they were saying that it was some type of event Kay was having, and then Wendy didn't come, or she came late because one of her kids was sick. And so Angel asked her, like, how is your child doing? Like, I think it's human nature to ask how someone is doing. Yeah. And then Kay seemed so self-centered in that moment when she was upset that Angel asked about Wendy's kids. And then you see, again, we're still 2 years later, we're still talking about the fact that when that whole, incident happened with Kay and Deborah, Giselle's father was basically passing away at that time. Kay is still upset that Giselle didn't check on her. You know what I mean? I just feel like she's a self-centered person. Like, why are we still talking about that?
A high maintenance friend.
And I don't do well, even before I was a mother. Even when I was like single, I've never dealt well with high maintenance friends. I cannot maintain you. Like we gotta chill and hang out and have fun together. I cannot be like your. I can support you, but it's only a certain amount I can give to a friendship.
Yeah. Grace, how are you feeling about Kiarna this season?
You know, it was a really good point that Layla made about her being self-centered and the thing about Giselle's father and the fact that she didn't seem moved by it when Giselle was explaining, like, you know, like the hours between that and her dad dying and stuff was crazy.
Yeah.
But I do also find that, I don't know, like maybe she thinks that in order to stay on the show, she always has to be in a beef with someone. It seems like she's really, really, really desperate for like a beef with somebody, anybody. So the stuff she's grasping at with Wendy, and then like her kind of putting the battery in Angel's back over certain things as well. She just constantly seems so angry, which is so crazy to me because, you know, from the outside looking in, she's gorgeous. She's super successful. I think she's rich. Like she should be so happy, you know, and things with her boyfriend seem to be going better, at least for her. So just this anger and this dark cloud that she brings over the show has been really, really disappointing this season.
So, Grace, you believe what's happening with her and Greg this season?
Honestly, I think she's kind of like a delusional person. Like, I think he's wasting her time, but that she thinks that this is okay and it's going to lead to marriage.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Layla, how do you feel about I feel like it's an overcorrection this season, but Layla, how do you feel about Kiarna and her relationship with Greg?
With Greg.
Greg.
You know, my husband was just teasing me about the way I say Greg yesterday. So it's funny you say that. But I guess I be hitting it too hard with the Gregs. But I feel like this. So I did this video about Kiarna's, like her past charges, which were, you know, like released. Nothing happened with her charges. But in the process of doing that, like I also looked at Greg's legal history with his ex-wife.
Oh.
Right. And I'm gonna say all alleged, but it wasn't just a divorce. Like he had some legal issues with his ex-wife. And I feel like when you see someone go through legal issues with their ex and then they say they don't want to get married, I feel like it's understandable that they are just trying to rest. You know what I mean? From the legal issues. He doesn't want a legal relationship with her, possibly because he just went through all this court stuff with his ex-wife, allegedly. And so I can understand his point of view, but I do agree that he's wasting her time. And it was like, okay, they broke up. All he had to do was invite her to Jamaica to get her back. So it seems like he got what he wants because she is beautiful. She brings a lot to the table. And so he got what he wants. But if she really still wants marriage, I don't think she's on that track.
He even got a new house. Even got a new house in the whole situation, because they were building that house together.
Yeah.
You said she got a new house?
Well, she got her own condo.
I think she bought it.
Yeah.
Did I misunderstand? It seemed like she was saying now he's trying to buy into it.
I don't know what's going on. I don't believe anything that's coming out of their mouths, because I feel like they are overcorrecting based off of, because everyone had strong opinions based on their relationship from last season. So I feel like now it's an overcorrection. She's even, you know, dusted him off, making sure he's not wearing sandals on camera anymore. You know, make sure your haircut is cut. We will make sure the fits are fitting. I feel like it's an overcorrection, and I agree with you. I feel like I don't know if I can't even say that he's wasting her time. I think she has chosen that she feels like she needs a man by her side to secure her spot on the show. I think she's more enamored with being on the show than necessarily being with him.
Can I ask what those legal issues are that you did?
How are you going to drop that, Layla? What were the issues that he faced with his ex-wife?
I would have to look them up again. I don't want to give them off the top of my head because they're not on the top of my head. I would have to look them up again. But it wasn't just a divorce; it was other things. So within
the marriage.
Yeah, the dissolution of the marriage. Yeah, because remember they have kids and things like that. It wasn't like simple, like, you know.
Okay.
This is all allegedly.
Yeah. And then everyone can watch this on your channel. The video.
No, I didn't want to do a video about Greg. Like, I kind of felt for him. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed, you know, personal. Like, okay. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is probably why he doesn't want to get married. Like, he's just trying to relax and stay out of, you know, legal relationships with
and
women.
You know, when Layla does her videos, she's one of those hell of a researchers. So, when you were doing a video on Kiarna and her past legal issues, you discovered some more information on Greg and his.
Mhm.
I get it. Look, I'm sure we all know people that have been through divorces or been through a divorce. Not me. I'm just saying because people
I
start see.
I have.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
I've been divorced.
you know,
Yeah, I've been through
it-
everything. And I
it's not.
understand, yeah,
Yeah.
I understand not wanting to, have more possible. Like, I understand not wanting to have a legal relationship with someone.
And rushing into it. If you because
Yeah,
how long ago was that divorce?
I don't remember, but not that
And,
long.
it,
I don't know. I don't
and
know.
based off this week's episode, he has young kids, so it probably wasn't that long ago.
Seems like it.
I don't
Y'all
know.
should Google it. Google his name,
You know,
Greg.
we will after this live. We will
Yeah,
after
Greg
this
something.
live. Okay, let's talk about the other newbies. Guys, you're just joining us. I'm here with Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. Be sure to follow them. All the information on them will be available in the description. We're talking about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac, but we're also catching up on everything because we're on episode 7 of Potomac. So there's been a lot that's been playing out. So I've been picking their brains on their perspectives. I'm going to start with Tia. Tia Glover is a newest housewife. She, she's Nigerian, but she's grew up in London. Lailah, I'll ask you, how are you feeling about Tia, this newbie?
I love Tia. I love her. I love what she's bringing to the show. Like, she seems like a peacemaker. So I love that. I want to know more about her relationship with her husband because I was unsettled about what I saw last night, like his daughter calling the cops and where is he? Like, but other than that, I think I like her family dynamic. I love what she brings to the show.
Okay, Grace.
Same here. I really enjoy her. I think she's super adorable. Whenever people come for her, she does a really good job of like standing up for herself, but then defusing the situation at the end with humor. Like the thing about Ashley, I forgot what happened, but they were fighting, and then at the end, she makes this joke like, "Oh, like I have a bone to pick with you. You didn't compliment my bum or something like that." And then the thing with Jazzy as well. Like she's a really, really good addition. I'm really loving her. I'm kind of curious about her royal heritage though, because I find it really fascinating, like the whole Nigerian royalty and whatnot, and what that means. Why they grew up in London, how she wound up in the US. I really want more information on that side of things. I feel like they could do a whole special on that, in fact.
When we watch Real Housewives, the editing, I don't know if you both watch Real Housewives Wife Swap. I feel like I got to know the housewives more from that show than them being on Real Housewives. So we're only getting a blip of what production and the network wants to show us about these women. So I'm not sure if we probably 5 seasons from now we'll get to know a little bit more about Tia and her story. But I do feel like we've gotten to know a lot about Tia already so far. We know her father passed away. You know, she's from a Nigerian royalty. We know she's in real estate. I love Tia so far. She is a breath of fresh air as well. I think her and Stacey have understood no matter if they come for you, you can't let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
Speaking of letting them see you sweat, Angel Massey. I was hopeful because Lailah, like you mentioned, at the beginning of the season, it felt like she was going to have her own voice. She was going to stand on her own, no matter if she's Kiana's friend. She was like, "Did you ask Wendy, how the kids were doing?" I was like, "Yes, Angel. Don't just follow her. Have your own voice." Only for it to sort of take that other turn.
Wah, wah.
Lailah, how are you feeling about Angel this season, or even just from
Wah,
this?
wah.
Oh, damn! Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, should I bring out the tiny violin? Let me bring out the tiny violin.
Yes.
Wait. Oh my god, my tiny violin's not working. What's happening? Oh no! Oh damn! You broke the violin. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, Lailah. How are you feeling about her?
You know what? I think it's a lot of things I don't understand about her. Like, I don't understand why she has this perspective as if, she didn't ask to be there. I don't understand that. I didn't understand why she thought Giselle would be her mentor. Like, do you watch the show? Like, why is it that you are a special snowflake that you think you're going to come on the show and everyone is going to like babysit you? I don't understand that frame of mind.
Because she's a wag.
Okay.
I don't know. It stood out to me when she first mentioned it. I was like, and then she keeps mentioning it. Even in this week's episode, she mentions being a wag. And I was just like, I think in her head, she thought she was going to come in better than a lot of maybe even the other newbies.
Yeah, and people keep
Mhm.
saying she in the WAG circle, she is higher. Like in those social hierarchies there, she's higher. So I guess you're right. She did expect to be higher in this social hierarchy, but she's not. And a lot of the stuff is not relevant. And I also believe what Jazzy was saying, she heard about her, like she's not the nicest person and all of those things. I think it's possible that those things are true, because she does seem to have a mean side. We saw her mean side when she was talking like kind of like off camera, but on camera about, you know, the situation in the past from 2016 about her allegedly stealing money, having a negative interaction with someone close to her husband. And then last night when she said Wendy's mouth looked
Oh,
like a butthole, I had to rewind. I was like, what did she just say?
and Forrest Whitaker eyes.
I
Yes,
didn't like that
yes.
at all. Giselle came for you. Why are you coming for Wendy's looks? That was very suspect.
Yes, multiple. But we saw that when they were in on their international trip. That's their only international trip, y'all. Like out of order. Like we're doing it first group trip is international. Okay, fine. Um, every time that Giselle or Ashley was coming for her, it felt like she kept on going for Angel. And I don't know if you both saw the after show, but in the after show, Wendy says like she came over to Angel and her
Oh,
family
yeah.
came over to the house and they had a good interaction. It was a really good energy. So she was shocked at what went down at Kiarna's condo. And I don't blame Wendy for constantly coming for her now, because now look, the gloves are off.
Yeah.
Grace, how are you feeling about how are you feeling about Angel this season?
Disappointed. I was really excited about her. I thought it was really cool. We're getting like, a plus size housewife, an actually rich one. When they were talking about the portfolio of homes that she and her husband own and how beautiful they are in all these different states, the businesses that they run, it all seemed really cool. But like Layla said, she has been kind of a Debbie Downer. Like you said, too, KP. There's also something. Oh, Layla, I was watching your video about her and the money. So, when she travels with the girls and stuff, she'd be like, oh, yeah, Bobby sent me money. Bobby. And then Layla did this video about like, did she really did she really steal from that man? Because why would her husband give her money?
That too, like your perspective on that. Do you believe that she took that money?
I don't know. Oh, you think so, Grace?
All of it. No, I'm joking. I don't know, but it is weird that her husband keeps spending her money like she's like a child and it's her allowance. Like, oh, you're on a trip. Let me send you some money, for this day, for that day. Like, okay.
Oh, okay. Layla, what do you think? Do you think, because remember, look, we didn't even ask for this story. She gave the story.
Right. And that's what I was saying in my video when I did research. I don't see people online talking about this story. It's like she brought it to the show. And what it told me is that she does want the attention on her. Like her telling this whole story, this whole backstory is like, okay, she does want the attention on her, even if it's negative. But I don't like how she keeps flipping it. Like she'll have one emotion in 1 hour. Like when she was talking to Jazzy, she was eating this girl up, talking about she was a stringy haired garden tool. But then she's crying when the cameras are really on. You know what I mean? I don't like people that flip-flop like that. Like within the hour, it throws me off.
And then the watch what happens live thing, because when she gets called out again about, oh, how do you feel like about Giselle and your photoshopping on Instagram? She's like, we shouldn't talk about women's appearances on social media. Let them do whatever. Did you see what you just called that other lady? Come on now. And then what she said about Wendy, she's so fake. She is so fake.
There's a lot, and I forgot, I think it was Jazzy who said it, that it feels like she's also catfishing her personality. And I was like, you know what? Every week it feels like that more and more. I'm like, so who is the real Jazzy? Because 1 minute in your confessional, you're this way. When you're in front of the other ladies, you're another way. Now, this week's episode, you're with your sister, you're another way. And I felt like her energy for Wendy, it's very harsh. Even the thing where she accused Wendy of calling her catfish, they play back the footage and it wasn't even Wendy.
It's Giselle.
It's Giselle.
But what if we're talking about, social interactions and things like that, what if she thinks she looks better than Wendy, but she doesn't think she looks better than Giselle? So she keeps coming for Wendy's looks instead of Giselle.
And
because it was her sister. Huh?
I need them to stop talking about Wendy's looks, because that's some good work.
She looks gorgeous. Yes. And I feel like you can't shade work when it looks good. It looks really good.
Right. They're like, oh, Mrs. Before and After. Yes, Mrs. Before and After looks good.
Exactly. And what about it? What about it?
Yeah,
Talk
she
about
probably
other
thinks
stuff.
Giselle looks better than her.
They were for BravoCon weekend. There were a couple of interviews. You saw Angel and Kiana; they were always together, and they were talking about her arrest. And just like thoughts and prayers, blessings. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, the microaggression. You guys are so bothered by Wendy, and I still haven't gotten. Look, I know Wendy might not be the most likable behind the scenes or whatever it may be, but I'm not understanding the amount of hate towards her right now. But maybe we're
Yeah.
missing something. But they have not revealed what that is. I don't understand it.
I don't know. I just feel like Angel had it pinpointed that when she comes on the show, if she has to come for anybody, it would be Wendy and
Mm,
not Giselle. You know what I mean? She
yeah.
had that in her mind already,
Mhm.
and she's sticking to it even when it doesn't make sense.
You notice
Yeah.
when Giselle comes to the World Pride event, as soon as Giselle comes, it's like, oh hey fellow wag. I was just like, that wag thing mentality is very present in Angel's head.
Yes.
It's
Just
so
Yes.
embarrassing because that is not even a personal accomplishment. It's just who you're attached to. Who are you? Like, what is that?
$30,000 and a couple of kids. Grace. Okay. Allegedly.
Gag it.
I don't know. Wait, let me say thank you because we had a couple of super chats. Thank you, Chanel, for becoming a member, guys. Thank you so much, Caddy, for the super chat. Caddy says people give her grace since no one was hurt in regards to Karen Krieger's DUI. Luckily. Trent King, we always love when Trent comes through because Trent's gonna say something.
Yes.
Trent says, I was just about to say, wasn't Karen sauced at BravoCon or am I tripping? There was some slurring when she was reading the teleprompter. I don't know, Trent. But Roderick, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Mr. Melanin Magic, thank you so much. Not the hot box. The hot box, Giselle, is miserable and doesn't like married women. Oh, Lord. It makes me wonder if it will change once she is in a relationship because she seems like that's her focus now is to be in a relationship. Dalen, thank you so much for the super chat. Dalen says the big three. Y'all ladies look lovely. Hey, Kempire, skin popping chow. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, you can get discount at butterskin.com with Kempire 10.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for the super chat. Gracie, thank you so much for the super chat. Gracie says, Angel's giving colorist with Wendy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That did cross my mind.
Me too.
I don't know if it crossed your mind, but it did cross my mind. I was just like, why so much energy for Wendy? It doesn't make sense because time after time, it seems as if everyone else is coming for you, but you keep coming for Wendy.
Right. On camera. Yeah. And I don't know if the sit down at Wendy's house is on camera, but
No.
it seemed like everything was cool. Okay, off camera, everything was cool. But on camera, it's always Wendy. It crossed my mind, but I feel like I'm shell shocked from this show. Like I don't even want to believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could be colorism, but it also, like I said, also could be that in her mind, the hierarchy,
Yeah, exactly.
Wendy is on the lower part in her mind.
Exactly. All right. Ms. Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Ms. Esquire says, Angel telling us that she is a wag is telling us what she values, who she values, and how she builds relationships with other women. She talked about that in Nevis as well. So I'm not gonna say that I'm Miss Cleo, but as soon as she mentioned wag from her first episode, I was like, pin that for later, y'all. Pin that for later. Because that's and I mentioned in my recap, I was like, I don't know if that's a thing, but it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're here with the Dream Team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn are here to talk about Real Housewives of Summer. I had to pick their brains on just like the main things that have been happening so far this season, but we can get into this episode a little bit. We get to see Ashley and Monique have a conversation. This is the introduction of Monique this season. Before we get to that, though, ladies, first of all, I don't know if you've seen the stories in regards to Monique not doing a new photo shoot for her promo for this season. She said that she was too busy. She had a lot of things going on. Then we see for her confessional, there is no living room behind her, and her home is beautiful.
Yeah,
her home is gorgeous. Okay, Grace, what did you think of some of the things that have been happening when it comes to Monique's return? The not sitting for a new photo shoot because she's too busy, and now there is this sort of just white background behind her, very different than what we're used to.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really strange. I'm kind of curious as to what she's so busy doing, because now with the divorce, she has her kids half the time. And then on top of that, from what I've heard, she's quit her DJ job. So what is she so busy doing? I don't really understand. I think it's very strange.
She
I
was
also
in my
think
comment section, and she did say that she was traveling.
okay. Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's, and this is something I was talking about earlier, is that, all the crap that she talked about Housewives, and that she talked about Bravo, even refusing to give the binder to Andy for his Museum of Housewives memorabilia. It really felt as though she felt like she was above the show and everything like that. So to me, like, hearing at first glance that, oh, she was too busy for this, too busy for that, it feels like, oh, I'm coming back, but I still feel like I'm above the platform, which is a dynamic I really don't like, even though I do like Monique overall.
And which is funny, because literally before she returned, it was just I think in December, she was basically dogging out the platform. So I thought that was interesting. Layla, what did you think of some of these little things leading up to Monique's return?
Yeah, I too am confused by Monique. With her coming back. First of all, the thing, I was watching her live, and she was saying with the backdrop, she did want a backdrop, but she signed on to come on so late that the backdrop wasn't ready. And then, with the green screen, it's all kind of technicalities. And you see how she's wearing metallic, and the metallic is basically like a mirror. Like if you're trying to do a green screen, you're wearing metallic, it's gonna be weird. And so they didn't do the green screen, but they gave her the option to like drop all of her confessionals in that look, or either do a white background. And she chose to do the white background. But I don't know, it's just strange to me. I feel like I also see her pants in the confessional. Yeah.
Which are like sort of like athletic wear that she's wearing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's all strange to me, but I always want to give Monique the benefit of the doubt. I always want to hear her out, because I feel like she's trying to tell us something, even if I can't always catch it. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
I love the way you said that. Well, here's the thing: what always sticks out in my mind, and again, Layla and I, we watch Love and Marriage DC, and I think people that didn't watch it, I understand why you're like, oh my God, I miss Monique on the show. But Love and Marriage DC did not do her justice when it comes to how people feel about her. So I always remember, though, from that Housewives book, where the executive producer says that Monique was enamored by, or intoxicated with the fame of Real Housewives. That always stood out to me. And so it's always in the back of my mind, but I'm still coming in with an open heart, because I have to say, her this week, I was like, I like what we got this week from Monique. It seemed like Monique. I'm like, all right, Monique's here. She seems open. She's ready. What did you ladies think about her conversation with Ashley? Because she talked about the fight and how it led her on this new journey.
I don't want to make light of it, but when she said that the fight woke her up to some childhood trauma that she didn't know she had, something about that felt really, I don't know, to me. It just, I don't know if it felt like, oh, this is like the ultimate cop out for what I did, because something about that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest with you. I don't know. Something about it was just really strange to me.
And I feel like she talked about the childhood trauma. I can't remember if it was during the season or it was just in interviews later on, because the big fallout. Layla, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I guess I'm at a point in life where I need people to talk to me straight, because if you're going to tell me you have childhood trauma, like what was the trauma? Like, so let me understand. And I didn't understand what she meant by that. My only thought was maybe she meant, which I kind of grew up like this, so y'all wouldn't believe that I was a fighter. But
what do you mean? Like physical fighter?
Yeah, physical fight. When I was younger, I never hesitated to fight because nobody around me hesitated to fight. Yeah.
She's been telling us, Kempire, for years.
I don't know, but maybe it's just been a while. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
It's already.
Okay, do tell.
I'm not like that anymore. Right now, like I would not be like Kiana or Monique. Like I'm not like that anymore. Yeah, once I started getting, a little bit older. But so I thought maybe, is that what she meant? Like she didn't hesitate to fight Candace because fighting was nothing to her from childhood trauma. Is that what she meant? But I'm left guessing because she didn't exactly say what the trauma was.
Yeah. And look, we have to remember watching an edited show. For all we know, she could have said it and they just didn't include it because of time.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see her talk more about it during the season, or maybe in her sit down with Giselle. Stacey's weed company. She has a photo shoot for her weed company, and she had the name of the weed company is Nigerian. It's Shio, which means happy. It seems as if though Ashley and Giselle are making such a big deal about everything that Stacey does this season, from who she's dating, her being back with her ex-husband, and now this business. Look, this is Housewives. We've literally watched this on the same city between Karen and Wendy. Grace, how are you feeling about this new weed venture that she's doing?
I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I love that she has a Yoruba name for it. I love when, Wendy confronts her about it. She says, I'm your sister, with like a straight face or whatever. She is so funny to me. She's so, so funny. I really, really love what she's got going on. And also on the point of Giselle and Ashley trying to nitpick everything, don't forget, they're trying to make it into this big issue, her RSVP situation for Jazzy's wedding.
Yes.
Who really cares?
Because would they be at this wedding if it wasn't being filmed a little bit too?
Exactly.
Layla, how are you feeling about the Stacey and the competition with Wendy and the single Black female of it all?
I think it's hilarious as well. I feel like Stacey is trolling these girls. Like, she is really trolling them. And I love that moment when she said that, I'm your sister. I love that moment. So yeah, I love it. I'm here for it. I'm watching, and I am entertained. Most of all, I am entertained by Stacey. I think that's why she wins the audience over, because she's entertaining us.
She's so unserious, and Andy Cohen has been giving his approval of her as well. Which he was on Watch What Happens Live. He's just like, he's just looking at her.
Yeah.
Like, and Stacey, I know you're watching, girl. Don't fall for it. This is what they do to all the housewives, all the new housewives. They lift you up. And then when you're falling down, you're like, where are they? Why are they not checking on me until they get the new Supreme? Okay. So, but I have to get, what I get from Stacey is that she understands the game. She's understood the game since last season. So she understands. She understands people are going to love her today, probably hate her tomorrow. But there are some people that do not like Stacey as well. And I can understand it, because it does feel like Stacey, very much like Karen, though, in a lot of ways, doesn't give authentic. But it's definitely, even to sit down with Wendy and Stacey, she's just like, I know what I'm dealing with. She's so unserious, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it.
Can I ask y'all this? Speaking of Stacey and Jazzy, which, first of all, when I was watching the reruns yesterday, Stacey actually, she apologized to Jazzy when they first sat down in that restaurant. She was like, I'm sorry, I haven't been the friend I should have been. So I feel like they had already squashed it, even though the other ladies were still trying to bring it up. It was over. But when it comes to Jazzy's wedding, what did y'all feel about the time that Bravo gave it? Because it felt like it went by. Did we even see her walk down the aisle?
No, we saw her down the aisle already. It was a blip. It definitely was a blip. But, at least they included it. They could have left it out. Let's be honest. And she came to that reunion last year so that they would film her. She brought an invitation to Andy. Andy still did not go. It looked like a beautiful wedding, though.
Yeah.
You saw her upgraded ring.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of tacky to me, her ring. I'm sorry. I thought it was kind of tacky.
Tell me how you really feel. I'm frozen, but keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was too big, too blingy. It was just, I don't like it. But I find Jazzy, listen, I do want to ask you guys also if you'd like her to be a housewife or an official friend of, but I like her. And I thought it was kind of thirsty of her to invite all the housewives to her wedding. And Andy, like, she barely knows these girls. So the way that they were criticizing Stacey, I feel like could have applied to Jazzy as well. And she wanted Stacey to be a bridesmaid, a girl she doesn't even really know like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's thirsty, but it's also like she's networking. It's a show. She's trying to come up on the show, get her paycheck up, I'm sure. So I feel like when someone's thirsty in that way, career-wise, as long as she's not harming anybody, you know what I mean? I think I like
it. In comparison to the other newbies, Jazzy would have been a really good housewife, I think. I think we got that feeling last season. Let me speak for myself. I had that feeling last season when we were initially introduced to her. I was like, oh, I kind of like Jazz. She has big personality. Even coming in this season, big bubbly personality, wanting to have fun. It was that whole Darius situation and the baby mama situation that really made people kind of go like, what? What's going
It
on?
brings her down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I have to say, I'm back on the Jazzy train. I think she's lovely, and I think she would fit well into this group. Unlike Kiarna and Angel, right now, they really have become like the sad duo.
Yeah. I'm surprised she
Okay.
didn't get like a flute or a friend of position, because I think she brings a lot more than Misery and Company. Or no, Misery and Company is Giselle and Ashley. My bad.
Well, I mean, look, I think she is considered a friend to the show. So, look, at least they showed the wedding. They even though it was a little bit of a blip, it looked like it was a beautiful wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
I'm
she had many
sure.
episodes already for like The Bachelorette and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
She had a lot. She had a lot.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, well, they did give her the big Bachelorette episode. That is true. Yeah. And I do want to see her. I would rather her than Angel. Like Kay, I still want to give Kay another chance. But
Really?
the other part of me
Kay or
that I feel
Angel?
Kay, I want to give Kay another
Oh,
chance.
I was just making sure. I was just
Yeah. Because I feel like
Right.
Kay also, even though I think she's self-centered, most housewives are, but I feel like they were saying, like she's traumatized from that altercation. And
Mm.
so we're still not getting her full, joyful self.
But here's the thing. This is what Kay's 3rd season being on the show.
hmm
I'm just like, we've given her
Crazy.
enough opportunities to show up. And I don't feel like she's showing up. All I get from I call her Kiarna, beautiful gown, Stewart, because that's all we're getting. And I don't feel like we're gonna get anything else. And even how she navigated BravoCon, I was like, you're not fun. And I wonder what Angel would be like without her on the show.
Whoa. So one of them, get rid of
no.
one of them. Either
Yeah.
one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Get rid of one of them and see how the other one does. And it might be better. Because Angel is fun without Kay. That is true.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
I feel like we need, in all fairness, even though I feel like she is catfishing a personality, I think we should give her at least another season to figure it out. Because at least she's married.
Without Kay. Yeah.
I
If
mean,
that matters.
if that matters, I heard that.
We know it matters to Giselle.
And we also know it matters to production in the network.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean, look, okay, fine. This is why the dream team is the dream team. We all always agree. I don't think we ever really agree. Which is the best. Guys, you just joining us. I'm here with Lailah Lynn and Grace Report. Be sure to follow their YouTube channels, but also everything else in regards to what they have going on is available in the description. Ladies, remind them of what's coming up for you. I'll start with Grace. What is coming up? What should people be following?
Well, I still have my morning show. Every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live with the morning report to talk about the day's hottest stories.
And that's a huge undertaking to do that every single morning.
Yes, we've been at it since January, so it's been a fun time.
About to be a year.
Yeah, time flies.
Lailah?
It really doesn't even feel like it.
Lailah, what's coming up for you? What should people be on the lookout for?
Subscribe to my backup channel, Lailah Lynn Crime and Context, or Crime and Context with Lailah Lynn. You can search it either way, but it will come up. I am doing more crime stories on my backup channel.
And like I said before, Lailah is a really great researcher, so those crime stories are going to have a lot of really great research. Are you going to do one on the SFOs?
If any more comes out, I kind of have a heart, like, even though I think it was, it was pretty dumb. Like, if we can be honest, the way they did everything, it was pretty dumb. But I still, like Wendy and Eddie on the show. The crime I'm doing is more detrimental, like insurance fraud. It's almost like insurance frauds us, like every month. You know what I mean? So insurance fraud,
Right.
I'm doing a little bit deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like missing women. Yeah.
I mean, look, I've said this before in regards to the SFOs and what has been revealed in regards to the insurance fraud. Please always understand the DA always has more. They're only giving us the surface of what they have. So
Yeah.
we shall see. As Wendy said during BravoCon, these are just allegations. Ladies, did you see the interaction between Ashley and Wendy during the BravoCon panel? Where Ashley basically was just like, she felt like because remember, Ashley originally, when the news broke that Friday, she had a singing event.
Right. Right.
And she
Heavy
says,
on
you know,
the
we're over it. Look, singing. We're
Mhm.
over here creating melody. I'm gonna put melodies in quotes, and others are catching felonies. So she apologized at BravoCon, and Wendy's just like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for it. I want to know your thoughts on Ashley and her creating melodies and not catching felonies. Grace?
Listen, it was rude, but it's part of the game in Housewives. You are supposed to react to each other's news, especially when the news is that big. The two of them do not have a good relationship as far as I'm aware. So I think that it was perfectly in line with where they are, who Ashley is as well. She's a very messy person. So yeah. And Wendy's well within her rights to not accept the apology either. So like the interaction at BravoCon was kind of like a crazy thing to witness. And I think that, that's what makes the Housewives so interesting nonetheless, right? These kinds of conflicts. So it's interesting to watch play out.
So, Layla?
I think she meant what she said the first time, the whole melodies, not felonies. I think she meant what she said, and she was just trying to take it back, for PR or whatever. But she meant what she said.
She also
So I
said
don't
she also said that you guys are surprised. We weren't surprised. And I said, DA, go speak to her.
Mhm.
What do you know, Ashley?
Yeah, she's seen some things.
A little too
Yeah.
much. A little too much. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Ladies, do you have a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do.
Kids at school.
I want to ask you about Giselle and the Will situation, because that was a part of the storyline this week's episode. And we already know her father passed away. Apparently he left a will where he was leaving things to Giselle and her daughters, and her father had another wife, a new wife. That's not Giselle's mother. And apparently there was some sort of new will that was signed, and she's like, that's not real. And now they're in court, and it seems as if they're coming to the point where the judge is going to decide whether they're going to recognize the old will versus the new will. Layla, what's your perspective on this Giselle will situation?
It's really sad, right? It's really sad because it sounds like she's saying that his new wife came in and tried to take his money without regard to his legacy, his kids, his grandkids. That's what it sounds like, and it's probably true. So it's really sad. But it also brings up, I've always been kind of confused. Like when you write a will, I guess you don't register it anywhere. Like,
I mean, you
I don't
could
think
with
you
your
do.
attorney.
Okay,
You
but
know,
I guess
that's a way of sort of like holding it in some sort of like, oh, I have witnesses, this was signed, dated, blah blah blah.
yeah. Well, I guess that didn't happen, but also I know it was unfortunate the way he passed and the fact that he passed so quickly. But actually, the fact that he had, problems with his brain. If the new will was signed and they know he's having problems with his brain, I feel like that makes it obvious when you match up the dates that he was probably not in his right mind to sign a new will. So it's kind of like, it works in her favor as far as her challenge in the will. And I hope she wins. I am on her side because it does sound fishy.
Grace, what are your perspectives on this Giselle and the will situation?
I too am confused. I thought that when you sign a will, it's notarized, there's an attorney or a notary present, like that there's not just one singular copy. So I don't know, has Giselle seen the original will with her own eyes? Because it doesn't sound like she's seen it, because she said that her dad was supposed to either leave the money to her, all to her, or to his grandchildren, which also I found strange because she has a sister. So was the father estranged from the sister? Why doesn't Giselle know who the will was supposed, like why wasn't there a meeting with the father before his passing? It sounds like in general, the estate, the will, the trust, whatever, was not well handled, because it should have been a cut and clear case. And it would have been easier for Giselle to prove fraud if fraud does exist in the context of his wife.
Yeah, and look, in all reality, this happens to a lot of families when there's a loss in the family. There's a lot of things that have not been taken care of. My perspective, though, in regards to what Giselle said about his wife, when we know nothing about that relationship, she says she has no relationship with his wife. Here's the thing, though. Based off of the show, Giselle has not always been the most honest person on the show. So I'm trying to keep an open mind and give grace to this other woman. And we don't know. For all we know, the will that she's referring to was signed and dated and notarized before he got sick. We don't know. We're only hearing Giselle's side of things, and we do know that Giselle has an interesting sometimes relationship with the truth. She's admitted this season twice, y'all, of some of her ways in regards to putting sauce on the situation. So I want to keep an open mind because we're only hearing Giselle's side, but we do hear all the time where a situation like this ends up happening in families. So it's not something new, unfortunately, but it is a reminder to those of us that are not currently in the situation to get your affairs in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really important, especially at his age. He was a man of a particular age. So the fact that this was not clear with herself, her siblings, and everything is very unfortunate.
Yeah. Let me say thank you, Gracie. Thank you so much for super chat. Gracie says those ladies didn't care about Wendy's 4 degrees and don't care Angel is away.
It's true.
Gary, thank you for the super chat. Gary says, I think Monique was warming up to being back to being on the show. She seemed way more comfortable and brought it in at BravoCon. I'm happy she's back. Thank you, Gary, for the super chat. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Sean says, did you peep Candy not wearing a ring? Dropped her Burris Tucker on IG. I hope this is misinterpreted. I like Monique's return. Well, Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. Katie says, love Stacey and Wendy's solo scenes. They have really good chemistry, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and based off of the after show, it seems as if they will be paired up along with. Did you ladies see the after show pairings? How do you feel about it? All of them look great, including Giselle.
I feel so bad. I need to catch up on those. I've been dying to catch up on those, but it's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It just started though, so you're not that far behind in regards. So I think it literally was just this week that they've released a couple of clips from it. All right, let's move on and round out some of this. Guys, you're just joining us. We're here with the Dream Team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn are here. More information on both their channels and what they've been up to will be available in the description. And if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. And shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, those of you watching on X, and those of you watching on Facebook as well. We appreciate you as well. Shout out to our King's Guards holding us down in the live chat as well. All right. Okay, so the scene with Kiarna and Greg, we talked a little bit about their relationship, but based off of this week's episode, how did you feel? Because they're in therapy. They're in therapy. They're really trying to work on their relationship. Lailah.
Oh God. Okay. I've done, therapy and stuff before with my husband, but like I feel like when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, like if you have to do therapy, maybe that's a sign. Like why do we, unless it's premarital counseling, like that type of counseling, like preparing to be married. But other than that, isn't this supposed to be lightweight and fun?
Yeah.
So I would like to hear, Kay has changed. When she first came on, she had a deadline when she wanted to get married. Now she's just taking things as they come. And so I would like to know more, like, what is going on with that? Like, has she really changed her expectations, or is she just trying to do whatever to stay with Greg? And if so, why? Like, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Grace.
I feel thank you, Dana. I feel the exact same way. It's in the dating phase. If you're already in counseling and whatnot, and they've only been together, like 2 years, maybe 3, like that's a really, really bad sign. Kiarna, she's young, she's gorgeous, she's child-free. She really doesn't need to be, and she's got businesses, success. I think she's rich. I keep saying I think because I'm not sure, but I think she is. She doesn't need to be begging this man of all men to be with her, to commit to her, like he had his life. He's already, maybe he's in this phase where I already went through the marriage. I already have my kids. Like I'm done on that. I feel like it kind of, it took a lot out of me, the divorce, especially with all the drama that Lailah is talking about, the legal drama and whatnot. So I think I would prefer her with somebody who's in the same situation to her, somebody who doesn't have kids, maybe the person was divorced or something like that, but they're open to getting married again and they're open to having kids and they don't have all of this kind of, it feels like Greg has a lot of emotional baggage over his situation. It doesn't feel like he wants to have a blended family, because I feel like Kiarna's open to it. Seems like she's happy to take on his kids and stuff, but it doesn't feel like he wants to commingle their lives. It doesn't seem like he wants to live together, to get married, to have his kids get attached to her. And it's really, really bad, you know, for Kiarna. I really like her and I want more for her. And I really want for her to want more for herself as well. Like she could easily find exactly what it is that she's looking for if she would let this guy go.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is too, very much like what you were saying, Layla, I don't feel like we've gotten her perspective in regards to what she wants now. Or is she putting aside what she really wants for this man that probably will not be able to give her what she wants?
Yeah.
Again, and look, and we could feel for him in regards to his, you know, what he went through with his divorce. But then maybe Kiarna's not the woman for you, because she wants her own family. She wants to have her own, get married. So maybe you guys, that's the thing. I think a lot of people end up getting together like, oh my God, he's perfect on paper, but he might not be perfect for you.
Yeah. Because I think on paper, like compared to her previous relationship with the alleged, pharmacist, street pharmacist or whatever, and him being unalive, I think she sees, like you were talking about how she overcorrects. I think Greg is an overcorrection for her in general. Her dating someone, the social worker, like, I know this guy is not going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? So I think she's overcorrecting. Yeah, but he should. I know he's not, because he benefits from being with her. But really, if he sees that he can't give her what she wants, he should let her go. But I don't think he ever will.
No.
It would have to be her way.
Wow. Exactly. She is the most beautiful he'll find. She is the most famous he'll find. She's probably the most successful he'll find. And on top of that, she comes completely like free and easy and chill, so he knows it's a good arrangement, and it's rare to stumble into that kind of situation. So he'll waste her time for as long as she lets him. So I think more women need to learn that. Like, men can waste your time for decades if you don't put a stop to it. So she really needs to.
So this week's episode ends with them celebrating World Pride, and we get to see Ash TOP again. Even though we do not want to. Oh, okay. Let me speak for myself. I don't want to. Ashley is spearheading this celebration of Pride, and this is where Monique gets to see the rest of the group. So Monique comes in, and she has got a good vibe. She's got good energy. She hugs everyone. I have to pick your brains though on the interaction between not just Monique and Giselle, but Monique and Wendy. Because remember when everything went down, Wendy clearly was on the side of everyone else against Monique. And Wendy has said, I never really got an opportunity to get to know Monique, but they immediately embraced, even before Giselle and Monique embraced. Grace, what was your perspective on that last part of the episode?
I thought it was funny that Wendy said she never got a chance to really know Monique. Meanwhile, she judged her like she freaking knew her. Like, she had so much to say. Like, she had a history with this lady. Like, she knew her and all that stuff. So that was a bit ironic to me. But it was nice seeing Monique reunite with people that she had known from the show, and also meet the new people as well. So yeah, overall, listen, I'm really looking forward to Monique being added to this season. I think they needed something with the lack of Karen. Like, there's just something missing.
Yeah. Layla?
That's true. I think you're right. The lack of Karen, like, you need some type of nostalgia or something. You know what I mean? So I think that might be true, and it might be why they kept asking her. And I wonder, when she said she finally agreed to go on the show at the last minute, I wonder if it was because Stacey was, dibbling and dabbling with Chris Samuels. Like, what was the reason? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm curious what it was. But her interaction with Wendy, I felt was good. Like, I like to see people give other people a chance.
Yeah. And come in with an open heart. And I wouldn't be shocked that production told them to come in with an open heart when it comes to Monique. What about that very last scene where Kiarna stirs the pot and basically says, Stacey, don't you and Monique know each other? Stacey looked genuinely confused. She's like, no, Monique. And then Giselle pivots and she's like, no, you're talking about Chris Samuels.
Yeah. Was that not weird? Like, why was Kay doing that?
Because Kay is trying to earn her flute.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I just felt like she was the wrong one to do that. Like, I understand Ashley said she didn't want to bring it up, but I felt like if anybody, it would be Ashley because Ashley knows both people. But
Mhm.
Kay, if I'm not mistaken, Kay doesn't know Monique, right?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, so I thought that was strange. I thought that was really strange.
Yeah.
Grace, what was your perspective on that? Those last couple of minutes.
The exact same perspective. It was really strange. It was really thirsty. And it just continued on to the whole Stacey pylon that's been happening all season. They really want us to hate Stacey, but it's not happening. Like, leave our girl alone at this point.
Yeah, it's not landing. It's not landing. And I wonder if they did not learn that, especially as OG housewives, that this sort of pylon on one person this season is not landing, especially when the person's not giving you anything
Yeah.
that you want in regards to it. Like, not letting it bother her. I love that for Stacey.
Yes, I love it too.
Same here.
Are you gonna try her weed?
I don't do those type of things.
Me either. Me either.
Grace.
All right, ladies, it's always a fun time when you both come here. Last minute perspectives on the season so far when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac, and also feel free to weigh in on Real Housewives of Atlanta and what's been coming out in regards to that. I mean, the season hasn't started yet, but thoughts. Oh,
Yeah, listen, that trailer looked good. And it's really interesting that we're going to see an Andy interview in the middle of the Housewives of Potomac season. That's something I don't think has ever been done. It's typically its own separate thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what Karen has to say about these 4 DUIs of hers and about what prison was like, to see if she really does if she really does change as a person, what she does moving forward. I love Stacey. I want to keep seeing her. And I want to see more Stacey and Wendy particularly. And guys, I also really, really like Jazzy. I know she had a thirsty, weird, desperate moment against Tia, but that's just one blip in the radar. So I really want to see her overall too.
yeah, I agree about Jazzy.
Yeah,
Layla?
I love Jazzy too. I love Jazzy. I want her to have a flu, even if she's delusional with this, alleged benchmark, whatever it is. I want to see it. I want to see it. So I want Jazzy to have a flute. But also, somebody had mentioned about Wendy and her father, like what happened to her father.
Yeah.
And I did read Wendy's book. And so in her book, she had said, even though her mother comes off as like super religious, her father is even worse. And to the point where I think it's a psychological term they have for it when someone is overly religious to the point where it's toxic.
Religious
And so-
psychosis, maybe, or
Yeah, religious psychosis. Yeah, that's what it sounded like she was describing in her book. So that's why her parents, like her mom really tried, but you can't really, even her mom, you can't really work with somebody like that. And so that's what she alleged happened.
And she mentioned she talked briefly, and she will be talking more about her father during the rest of the season, maybe, because remember, sometimes they include stuff in the premiere trailer, and then they don't. Well, understandably, this season I can understand them maybe cutting some of the stuff so they could focus on the Wendy arrest, because you saw in the mid-season trailer they will be including that. We have the one-on-one with Karen, so I can understand it. But they did talk about her strained relationship with her father, who she has not seen in 20 years, but she was very close with her stepfather, who passed away, something that she can connect with Giselle about, Tia about. So, sidebar, speaking of that, rewinding back when Kiarna and Giselle were having their issues on the boat and they were talking about that, and Tia really mastered that conflict. And Giselle says to Kiarna, I love you, I am rooting for you. And Kiarna was like, noted.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awful. That's why I say she's self-centered. Like, I guess she had her head turned, like she was trying not to cry on camera. But I think Tia, was right when she was like, we know that you're embarrassed. Like, that fight embarrassed you. And I think that's why Kay teared up but didn't want to face the camera. But I felt like she did owe like Giselle more than that in that moment. I think
And
she
Seven
did.
reminded Ashley's daddy just passed away. She didn't really have a relationship with him either. So they could all really bond on that topic. So it'll be interesting to see. Ladies, are you excited for the rest of the season?
yeah,
I am. All this this all these crimes and stuff like that. Like, I'm excited to see. I want to see what Karen has to say for herself. I want to see really if she really changed. I have a feeling she did from what I saw in the preview. But I want to see if she really changed, and I want to see the whole Wendy and Eddie of it all. Is he going to take the fall for his wife? Like, what's going to happen?
Mhm.
Grace.
What about you, Kempire? Are you looking forward to the rest of the season?
I mean, based off of the mid-season trailer and what we have been covering here on the channel in regards to Wendy's and Eddie's arrest and the Karen of it all, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Karen has to say. I'm looking forward to seeing a complete 180 from what she was saying up until she was convicted and sentenced and sent off to jail, because I was like, Karen, come on, show some sort of accountability. I definitely think with her fourth DUI, she needed to go to jail to have this awakening, especially if she's dealing with addiction. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the rest of the season is going to be far better than the top of the season. Top of the season has been okay. It's been like mid for me, but I think the rest of the season should be very, very interesting. I need Ashley and Giselle just to pull back a little bit. Just pull back a little bit. Thank you so much, Miss Esquire, for the Tuesday. You cannot make yourself easy enough to love for a man who is not ready to love you as you deserve. Kay needs to move on. Yeah. Nia, thank you so much for Super Chat. She says, look, sidebar, are you okay? Allegedly. Love for Toronto. All my sayings in one Super Chat. Thank you, Nia. We appreciate you as well. Guys, you know how you can support the channel by liking today's video, subscribing. Go check out some of my BravoCon recaps from over the weekend. I've given you day by day of some of the most important details. Make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast, where you can listen to all of it in one and everything else. Ladies, it's always a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for being here. More information on Grace Report and Lailah Lynn will be available in the description. Thank you both. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Likewise. Thanks, guys.
Thanks to our mods and our channel members in the chat and our subscribers. And those of you watching the bushes, we appreciate you. Keep watching.
Yes.
Bye, y'all.